I don't know.
All right. Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. We will give folks a moment to filter on in. We've got a tornado warning right now, just kind of to the north and to the west of Shoals here. We can kind of zoom in on this. And to be honest, Michael, the one to the east may even look a little bit more impressive right now. It doesn't have a tornado warning on it, but I would imagine that at the very least, this severe thunderstorm warning is going to be extended east towards Bedford and Mitchell.
Yep.
But then you can see down here, kind of south of Regalsville, radar indicated rotation here, and then half dollar sized hail. That's also a big threat with these storms. And then I was just kind of looking at this storm, Michael, just to the west of Huron, heading
Yeah.
into Lawrence County. And there's some decent broad rotation on this as well. I would imagine that if there's not a tornado warning, there's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning on it shortly.
Yeah. I was looking at the only reason I think right now there isn't one.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. There it is.
So
Never
tornado
mind.
warning now for Mitchell, just to the south of Bedford. That includes State Road 37 through southern portions of Lawrence County, guys. Just northeast of Shoals here in Willow Valley, Georgia, along State Road 50 as well into Lawrence County. So here's kind of a wider zoom on that. And look at this latest scan. This is a pretty decent rotation signal now.
Yeah. Sure is. Huron, Morristown, along 50 there, and getting into that's also State Road 60.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not a couple of. Let's see what that text is. 1.75-inch hail for that warning, and that's going to go until 7:15. Um, the thunderstorm was located near Shoals, 16 miles southwest of Bedford, moving east at 25 miles per hour. If you want to put a track out on that,
Yeah, sure.
right now it is radar indicated, but with each scan, it is getting better and better looking. And 1.75-inch hail, that's nothing to screw with. That's pretty big hail.
What did you say? 25?
25 straight east. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, so here's a look. Looking at Mitchell by 718, Georgia and Bryantsville 705, 707, Terry Park 717, Rabbittville. I've never heard of Rabbittville. That sounds fun. But that's at 719. So population 4,249 here. So not a highly populated area, but I definitely know we've got a good amount of people in Lawrence County that follow us that in the next 30 minutes are going to be dealing with a notable storm here. And again, I would say that this one is looking more impressive right now than the one to the north and to the west. Still under the tornado warning to the northwest. We can zoom in on this one. That's Bramble and Ragglesville. Still have the tornado warning. That one goes for the next 29 minutes, so out through 7:15 Eastern time. We still have the tornado warning, but this storm to the east is looking, I would say, destructive in terms of the hail threat, golf ball sized hail here. I know the Clarity platform a little bit ago, Michael, was indicating nearly 2-inch diameter hail. So, hail also a very big issue with these storms.
Yeah, 65 dBz return there. Um, I'm just looking at rotations. Definite. It's broad, but gosh, it is. That's a nice hook right there. There's probably a pretty clear view of that if you're able to see it anywhere. Um,
Yeah, if you're in French Lick or Orleans. Guys, a couple of people asking about Bloomington. This particular cell will stay south of Bloomington, but for areas to the north, this is just the first couple of storms here. So we're going to see more storms fire off as we go throughout the rest of the evening hours. If we look out to the west, we have a tornado warning. This particular tornado warning out in Illinois has been going for a while now. And you can see a couple more of these cells firing off across southern Illinois. I know that there's a couple here across northern Kentucky as well. And there's a severe thunderstorm warning north of Lexington. And so this is just the start of what will likely be a pretty busy evening. Maine, Michael, look at that couplet now.
yeah, it's crazy how organized that's starting to become. Shoot, get off there. Let's see. And it's almost moving. That one's kind of trying to just move straight right as well, which is
Yeah. Typically, guys, when these cells start to move straight right, it typically is indicative of stronger and tighter rotation beginning. And so, gosh, if you are in Mitchell, Indiana right now, you need to be taking shelter. This storm is easily capable of producing a tornado. I'll take a look at the correlation coefficient just to see if maybe there's any kind of an indication of anything on the ground. A little hard to tell right now. That looks like kind of a gap. There's probably some very large hail. You can see kind of on the north side of this as well.
sorry. My neighbor's cutting grass, so if you can hear that, it's is it loud. I don't know if it's loud or not, but
You can hear it a little bit, but it's not too bad. Bedford, Indiana, guys, just to the north of this warning right now. I'd anticipate Bedford to stay out of this storm. So if you're getting the tornado warning in Bedford right now, it's not for downtown Bedford. It's for south of you. And again, I know the NOAA weather radios are still down, last that I heard. And so if you need to get warnings, scan that QR code in the top left. I know that I saw a sign up link that Hope threw in the comments a little bit earlier. That you can sign up and get the location specific alerts on the Clarity Home platform.
yeah, yeah. That tornado warning is for southwestern Lawrence County, but again, it's only for really south of Bedford and Mitchell, and so the issue is that whole county is again getting alerted, but it's only for that spot right there. So just something to keep in mind. It's kind of along and south of looks like State Road 50.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
the new scans in now. Um, Man, it still. I mean, it still looks impressive. Um, let's see.
Yeah. Still nice rotation couplet here. It's crossing. I mean, it's right along State Road 50. It looks like right in here, and it should kind of follow along State Road 50 until it kind of works through Moorestown. But if we put this into motion here, guys, we can kind of watch as it was going more northeast, but as you alluded to, Michael, it started to move more kind of west to east over the past couple of scans.
Yeah,
And again, that's typically indicating a stronger storm, stronger rotation potential. We have the large hail signature kind of just north of where this rotation is. There's probably some golf ball sized hail or even bigger in this area right now, just northwest of Huron. And so, if you're in any of these areas, golf ball sized hail can cause a lot of damage. It can hurt people. And so, regardless of the tornado warning, you need to be inside. But certainly in this tornado warning area that goes for the next 24 minutes, you need to be taking shelter. This storm, Michael, to the west is looking weaker. I don't see much of a rotation signal with this storm right now.
okay. Can you hear the mower in the background?
A little bit, but it's not too bad.
Okay, sorry. I'm going to try to see if I can do a little bit of noise cancellation there, but it's got it in advanced options. All right. Anyways, and it's funny. My neighbor, God love him, he's stopping trying to get me to talk to him. Hey, come here. I can't.
There are tornadoes. Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, I'm getting an update to see if Kemper's heard anything. If we've seen any reports or anything yet. I haven't seen any reports, but just to see if anything's been on the ground. Tornado sirens going off in Udalik. Where is Udalik at?
Let's see here. That is east of there, I believe. Northeast of
North
there.
of there.
Yeah.
So that's the problem is there's not a tornado. So this comment right here, Olivia, that tornado is moving southeast of you. This is again more of the issues with the warning system in general and just how flawed it is. For location specific alerts, guys, we launched the Clarity Home thing, and again, I don't like using tornado warnings as a sales pitch here, but at the same time, sometimes it's just required. But if you check out my screen, go to bamwx.com and you can sign up for the Clarity Home option. And guys, when we issue tornado warnings, um, when tornado warnings come out, we only warn for the people inside right here of the warning. Okay, so you see on my screen, there's Lawrence, southwestern Lawrence. Yeah, if you're in that, we will send it to you. But if you're not there, if you're in Odalik, Logan, Popcorn, Heltonville, a lot of other places inside Lawrence County, you're not getting that warning right now with the way we utilize that technology. So um, take advantage of it. Go check it out. Uh, Real quick, I am still just very impressed with that hail core. Um, and you can see that indication of 1.2-inch hail there.
It's probably
With
bigger because, Michael, what I was noticing, it looks like there's a hail spike on the radar.
Yeah, I do see that. Yep. So nasty nonetheless. The rotation track there again showing some rotation coming into Huron there, just west of 50. And that storm on actual Doppler radar has quite a bit more of a hook than it does on the composite MRMS. But let's go out real quick, and I'll just put a loop on this so you guys can see the general movement here, and you can kind of see um, where these things are going to develop as they move north. We've been told by our team, we think by about 7:30 or 8, there may be more widespread development. Brett, is that the case there?
Yeah, for sure. Which is kind of what data was indicating, that especially after 7 to 8 o'clock, things get a little bit more widespread. I'm pulling up the visible satellite. We definitely have more cumulus developing kind of south of this right now. Maybe a couple of cells starting to bubble up in southwestern and southern Indiana. That will probably continue to fire off as these move further off to the east.
Yeah, so that's what Brett was talking about, and you can definitely see the Q field there. There's a nice Q field there for the development of these thunderstorms. You can see the one that's fired off there. I had future radar pulled up, and it's lacking a little bit on the current development, but
Yeah, it might be a little slow.
it is a little slow, but it certainly gets going there. As you can see, the future radar, which is an option on the Clarity Home package, by the way, you can get future radar. Um, we do have the tornado watch. This is the tornado watch right here um, that you can see that is in effect for the next 4 hours. So we'll just see what these storms do. Data does take it into the area, it takes it a little further north, a little bit more widespread. So we'll continue to watch here. You know, going forward. Brett, if you want to take back over and get a check back in on this storm
Sure.
on local radar.
Yeah, so here's a look at the latest radar scan here for the Lawrence County supercell that has developed. What I was kind of talking about earlier, kind of this faint spike here. That is basically a radar reflection of very large hail in a storm. And so there's likely some very, very large hail embedded within this supercell right about here. The radar down to the south and to the west is hitting it and then kind of reflecting off of the wider light that the hailstones produce. And so still dealing with a robust storm here. We'll take a latest look at the rotation tracks, maybe getting a little bit broader. That tighter rotation has weakened a little bit. Let me change my color maybe to pink so it's a little bit easier to see here. But it's gotten a little bit broader, but still working east-northeast or more directly due east, kind of between Georgia and Bryantsville here, guys. And that will continue to push towards or just north of Mitchell, Indiana, probably over the next 15 minutes or so. So this storm moving at 25 miles an hour, I would imagine that this cell out to the west that's under the warning will be allowed to expire because it's still looking rather weak, I would say, right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I think that if we put timing on this storm in terms of where the rotation is, we'll take it out 25 miles an hour here. And we're looking at Mitchell at 721, Lawrenceport at 733 as the storm pushes further to the east. Here's a wider view. We'll go back to just the singular radar image. In the grand scheme of things, it's bright and sunny right now everywhere else.
Which
Yeah.
there. If you look at radar now, I'm actually I actually see a boundary, Brett. Looks like a focal point west of Jasper. I'm seeing new development now pop.
Yeah, looks like right here. So that may be, we've got a warm front moving through the area. And so it looks like kind of along a boundary here, new cells about to develop. I do think it's worth noting that some of these areas could get hit more than once because of the nature of this.
Uh-huh.
These storms lift north. Some areas may get hit more than once. Some areas may get skipped entirely. And so, right now, I'd say the corridor of where things are looking to develop are kind of, if I had to draw a region, kind of through here, let's say. This is where storms will develop, and then they will push to the north and to the east as we go over the next few hours. And so, this corridor over the next, let's say, 1 to 2 hours or so, maybe especially the next hour, will be where storms develop. And then after they develop, they will push to the north and to the east. And it's as we get closer to probably, I don't know, 8:30, 9 o'clock that areas like Bloomington, Columbus, Greenwood will be more under the gun for these storms.
Yep. All right. So, really, I think what we'll do here, Brett, is let's stay on until this particular warning decides to calm down in Lawrence County. I still see a tight rotation couplet there in Southwest Lawrence, near State Road 50 and State Road 60, kind of where it intersects here in the southwestern portion of the county.
Yeah, that new scan is kind of gnarly.
Yeah, it's still looking decent. So that tornado warning is going to go for another 15 minutes, and just north of that, Brett, circle there in the forward flanking downdraft, kind of where the hail core would be. There's
Mhm.
still a potential there for some pretty large hail. Radar estimates over 1 inch plus hail right now on the north side of that, and then uh,
Yeah, look at that.
yeah, so new scan there, getting some hefty returns, 66 DVZs. That's nothing to play with. That's uh, that's a big one. So um, the biggest threat from these storms, again, is going to be large hail and the potential for tornadoes. I haven't quite checked on the lightning situation. I don't know if there's a bunch of lightning or not. I haven't really looked.
I would imagine there's probably a decent amount. Let me turn on my Conus
Well,
Lightning here on
to be
clarity.
honest, it's not. Some of these storms I don't think are yet surface based. Over there in Illinois, they're not. There's
No,
not much lightning. So
and yeah, I think that's the battle of the warm front,
yeah,
and the instability moving in. Do these storms initially develop kind of north of that warm front, and they're not as surface based? They're a little bit more elevated, or do they develop in the warm sector along the warm front, where there's a little bit more instability? That can A, drive tornadoes, and B, obviously drive a lot more lightning. This one here, there's a decent amount of lightning. It's not crazy,
yeah.
that's moving through Lawrence County.
Well, what I'm turning on here is our instability and our dew point. Um, and you can kind of see the instability rise northward again, as Brett was talking about with the front. A lot of momentum in the cloud in the gravity waves here out ahead of this. So I don't, with the isentropic lift in the front lifting northward, the slope of air rising as the front comes north, and the energy, it won't take much for the storms to rotate.
Sure.
Um, and there'll probably be a lower precip type supercell, which we're seeing as well along the warm front. But um, they just extended or modified the warning a little bit. Um, pull this back out, but still continuing to see new cell development. So um, it's the only one right now, that we're seeing.
Yeah,
And
there's
just kind
been
of
one out in Missouri
yeah,
or
yeah, and I
eastern.
just kind of wanted to illustrate the cumulus field and how it's firing those storms right along the front. So um, I think right now it's just kind of a wait and see game. If you're in Southwest Lawrence County, make sure you're continuing to stay in shelter for the next 10 minutes or so. as that storm rolls through. And then Brett, what we can kind of do is monitor this and come back if needed.
Yeah, for sure. Just real quick, Michael, I want to make the note because a lot of people are asking for their specific location. We've got probably now until 11 p.m., we're going to be dealing with this scattered supercell type of activity. It's building over the next hour. This first initial cell, I think, has showed us that it can rotate, it can produce large hail, potentially a tornado. And so, if you are especially south of I 70, and probably especially along and west of I-65, you're in a threat this afternoon and evening, but it's not going to be constant. We're not dealing with a line of storms. It's just going to be hit or miss supercell development. And so, it's one of those situations where we're just going to have to watch it. Yeah, Michael's circling it very well, I think, based off the current setup. So if you're in this area between now and 11, especially, you need to be monitoring the forecast. And if you're in northern Kentucky, you could maybe extend that in northern Kentucky there with a couple of those cells. Although I think the rotation risk is better where you have it circled.
Yeah, I was kind of focusing just on the warm front potential there, but
Sure.
certainly severe weather risks down there in northern Kentucky too,
Yeah,
for sure.
probably large hail.
Yeah,
I need to get that color table that you have. That's pretty.
that's the new one, baby. That's the new one. I'll send it to you. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do like it. Cool. I'll put this on real quick. I'm gonna just before we wrap up, I'll slap this thing into motion so you all can see kind of. Look at that, Brett. Do you see that right there?
I was going to say you can see the boundary just south of Vincennes. Yep, right there.
Yeah, right there. So you can see. Look at that new one right north of the radar dome, right there, and you can see how hooky it looks.
Mm-hmm.
He's a
Yep.
hooker, looking like a hooker. So
It's
not that kind, like in the storm chasing world, we
yeah.
call it hooks. It's a hook like look. So
The reason I laughed is because 99% of the people watching
they don't know that, and they
didn't know
think
that.
that now I'm being inappropriate, and all those things. No, it's funny. So yeah, that'll be a good focal point to watch here over the next, I would say, hour, and
Mhm.
I guess we'll really get a taste of what this is going to do. Again, high res data says it explodes a little bit more with development. So let's watch it, Brett, and make sure that folks are able to check out the Clarity Home package while we're kind of waiting um, for. Sorry, I knew that was going to happen. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Here we go. You can go to bamwx.com and check out Clarity Home to get those alerts and those updates, nowcasts sent to you from us directly. In fact, I think we probably have a nowcast out that was sent to device. There it is, right there. I
Yep.
mean, it's beautiful. Um, you can see where our team is anticipating that to be between the 7 to 10 p.m. time frame. That red line is south of that red line is where the best potential for the stronger storms and a few tornadoes would exist inside this box here. So that was
Mhm.
sent to your device. It's a great graphic, and we'll kind of wait and see, Brett, and come back if we need to.
Yep, guys. And in the meantime, of course, again, that Clarity Home package will have updates, sending out location specific alerts, and we'll be monitoring things and be back based off how things look. We'll probably be back later this evening.